And our top focus this morning remains on Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, who will be addressing the United Nations General Assembly today. This, of course, comes at a time of heightened tensions between India and Pakistan following the massive terror attack in Uri. Now, Sharif is expected to address the meeting at 10:30 p.m. This is local Indian time. The Kashmir issue will remain the top focus of his address as he opens the UN General Assembly, with US President Barack Obama also making his final appearance as the Commander-in-Chief at the 71st session. Now, last year, while raising the Kashmir conflict in the General Assembly, Nawaz Sharif had proposed a 4-point peace initiative. This time around, of course, there is no doubt that he's going to be raising the violence has broken out in Kashmir, thereby once again meddling in India's internal affairs. And Prerna now joins us live. She is, of course, tracking all the latest from the United States. Prerna, first of all, what's the atmosphere like there regarding Pakistan in the UNGA after the Uri attack? We've seen quite a few reactions coming in, all of them condemning the attack that took place. And how is Pak's propaganda really against India failing at this point?
Well, it might be a difficult day for Mr. Nawaz Sharif here at the United Nations. Pakistan has been saying for a very long time that it's going to bring up the issue of peace in Kashmir in front of the United Nations. However, after the Uri attack, its position has clearly been made untenable. Now, that apart, Pakistan has also been facing protests from Balochistan activists who have protested outside the UN 2 days ago. And we're told that they're going to be protesting today as well, soon after Mr. Nawaz Sharif's address to the UNGA today. So Pakistan will really have to watch its word on the floor of the assembly today while it gives the address.
Prerna, also, we've seen the kind of reactions internationally that have come in to the Uri attack and in general against Pakistan. Do you feel that Pakistan's now been pushed to a corner this after several nations really have shown such a strong reaction towards Pakistan and support to India? And does this come as a blow for Nawaz Sharif, because all this support has been garnered just hours before his address?
Well, the strongest words have come from Russia and France. In fact, Russia, although says that its decision to cancel the joint exercises with Pakistan in POK has nothing to do with the Uri attack, but it's very clear that Russia is trying to be very cautious in its association with Pakistan. Now, that apart, China, which is Pakistan's closest ally at this point in time, has also condemned the attack. Many other countries have spoken up, including Japan, Germany, Sri Lanka, Bhutan, Canada, and many other countries. So at this point, Pakistan clearly will find itself cornered.
Absolutely. And Prerna, we'll keep coming back to you for the latest, getting us, of course, those details of what's happening at the United Nations General Assembly. Meanwhile, in a proactive outreach clearly to up the ante against Pakistan, External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj is also likely to raise the Uri terror attack in her speech at the United Nations General Assembly. Remember, her speech is not today, it's on the 26th of September, and it's going to be a strong counter to whatever Nawaz Sharif does say today. Sushma is scheduled to speak on the 26th. The speech, of course, will not be the only diplomatic move to counter Pakistan. India is also likely to organize several bilateral meetings with a host of foreign ministers as well as other leaders representing various countries at the UN in a bid to highlight Pakistan's role in terror activities in Kashmir as well as other parts of India. At this point, ever since the Uri attack took place, many have been discussing what will be the fallout, how India will respond, and several have been saying that maybe military options is the way forward. But if India really considers its military options to counter Pakistan, the big question is, will they unleash nuclear weapons on us? And that's a question which is on top of everyone's mind right now. Analyzing Pakistan's nuclear doctrine, here's a look at the 4 red lines, the 4 thresholds crossing which might actually trigger a nuclear warfare with Pakistan.
So these are the 4 red lines that, if crossed, the Lakshman Rekhas, if crossed, will elicit a nuclear or maximum military reaction from Pakistan. The first threshold or red line is space. If India militarily manages to conquer large parts of Pakistani territory after an attack, that would elicit a reaction. The second big red line or Lakshman Rekha, if India using aircraft and jets bombs large parts of the Pakistan Army's establishments, that would do the same thing. The third Lakshman Rekha or red line, the economic threshold. If India reneges on any treaty like the Indus Water Treaty or any other economic treaty to strangle Pakistan economically, that would provoke a strong, possibly nuclear reaction. And finally, the domestic threshold or domestic red line, which is if India manages to create large-scale internal disturbances within Pakistan, that would also spark a big reaction from Pakistan, perhaps even nuclear.
Now, at this point, India is, of course, playing its cards close to its chest. And while it's weighing its military options against Pakistan, Pakistan's Defence Minister, Khwaja M. Hasif, has issued his own sort of threat. He said, and I quote here, won't hesitate in using nuclear weapons if Pakistan's security is threatened. It's not the first time Pakistan's made this kind of a statement, but it's at a time when tensions are at a high.